Hey, good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, help promote and rank up my channel. Uh, so, Charlize Theron is absolutely insane, to say the least. She's advocating, she's campaigning for a lesbian version of Die Hard. And all I can really say is...
Just who I was looking for. I hear you're going through an experimental phase. It can be a confusing time. But as your guidance counselor, which is what I am, I want to assure you your feelings are normal and perfectly natural. That's why I bought you this lesbian basket. Those muffins are vegan, just what any fatherless lesbian could wish for.
So I'm insanely curious. How many people exactly think, oh, I need a lesbian version of Die Hard? How many people actually think that? When you watch Die Hard, you think, oh, you know what would be great? If there was a lesbian version of this. I mean, I guess if you're looking for porn, but who wants a Die Hard reboot just because, oh, it's lesbian? It's lesbian. That's really the point. I mean, how many lesbians actually have an interest in a Die Hard type movie? More so, a Die Hard reboot. So you have to factor in lesbians are already a minority. Then you factor in that there are some people that don't want Die Hard changed. Some people that don't want to see a Die Hard reboot. Then there's some lesbians who don't even watch action type films. So you just get lower and lower until it's that much more of a minority. So how many lesbians actually want a lesbian version of Die Hard? A reboot for the sake of the fact that it's just lesbian. That's the whole purpose and point of the reboot. That it's lesbian. It could be a scene by scene replay with a woman in place of a man. How many people actually want that? How many people watch a movie and say, you know what would be great? Yeah, if there was a lesbian version of this, or if there was a Canadian version of this, or if there was a bisexual version of this, or if there's a trans version of this. We need to make one for everybody. We need to reboot this movie again and again and again until there's a version for everybody. We need a black version, an Hispanic version, a Canadian, British, African, everything, Chinese. So, I just find that insane. And Charlize Theron is insane herself. And my chair sunk down when I was talking. Okay, so that was annoying. But anyways, actress Charlize Theron recently appeared in Netflix's The Old Guard, took to Twitter campaign for a lesbian version of Die Hard. The idea of a lesbian version of Die Hard was pitched by Twitter. Of course it was pitched by a Twitter user. They were lesbian Christmas rom-coms are all well and good, but what I really want is a Die Hard where Charlize Theron goes on a rampage to save her life. So there actually is a lesbian, at least one lesbian interested in it. And this woman, of course, she got on board immediately. She's like, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up for this lesbian version of Die Hard? Because that's so creative. Because it's what we always do, right? We take something that already exists and then make a politically correct version of it. Like, that's... So, following Theron... campaigning for the new film. Her last name's a little bit hard to keep track of how to pronounce. So fellow actress Hannah Simone, who is known for her role as Cece in the New Girl TV series, also threw in her hat. Simone responded to Theron on Twitter, writing, "Let me know if you need a tired Indian wife who doesn't like to run fast even when danger is present, and therefore would need all the saving." So I'm actually familiar with that actress too, from New Girl. I got your back, boo, is what she said to her. So the idea of this, that rebooting Die Hard just to make a lesbian version because one person asked for it on Twitter. How many people actually want this? No shame or whatever. I realize that some people in the comment section will probably be guys that just have a hard on looking for porn and a Die Hard version of porn, lesbian Die Hard version of. So there's gonna be guys that want that pretend to be feminist allies and stuff just because this would be right up their alley. This would be very appealing to their predatory ways, where they put themselves in the friend zone and just rule over the lady. So Theron made headlines last year when she declared that she believed her child was born a boy. Theron spoke with the Daily Mail about her oldest child, Jackson, who the actress adopted as a baby back in April 2019. Yes, I thought she was a boy too, until she looked at me and she was 3 years old and said, "I'm not a boy." Um, it's a boy who a 3-year-old boy said, "I'm not a boy," and how were you able to adopt this child if you're gonna embrace that? So throughout continued. So there you go. I have two beautiful daughters who, just like any parent, want to protect and want to see thrive. They were born who they are, and exactly where in the world both of them get to find themselves as they grow up and who they want to be is not for me to decide. Throughout continued. The actress then stated, "My job as a parent is to celebrate them and love them and to make sure that they have everything they need in order to be what they want to be." So, just to be clear, this is actually a boy that said, "Hey, I'm not a boy." A 3-year-old that said, "Hey, I'm not," and you said, "Oh, my job is as a parent is to just let you run wild with that. If you want to say you're a dinosaur and go outside and try to eat people, if you want to say you're a T-Rex or go outside and try to eat people, it's my job to help you capture those people so you can eat them, to knock them out and to drag them into the house and let you eat them. It's my job. You're a 3-year-old. You can't do it on your own. You need my help as a parent because that's what real parenting is. Uh, look, children need education, guidance, discipline. A 3-year-old cannot decide their gender. I don't give a damn what anybody says. A 3-year-old does not get to decide their gender. A 3-year-old does not get to make decisions that are that important. They're my. This is ridiculous. This woman is insane. This woman is insane. I know people will probably thumbs this video down, but you're insane too. If you think that that's okay, that this woman should be able to adopt children, and then let the 3-year-old decide, oh, you know what? I don't know almost anything at all, but I think I'm actually a girl, not a boy. It's just, and the framing of this is so confusing. So let's read on. She concluded, "I will do everything in my power for my kids to have that right and to be protected within that right." A few months later, Tyrion would again make headlines when she asked for the world to use the right pronouns for her child, Jackson. You need to use the right pronoun. But Tyrion spoke with Pride Source and was asked, "You are using this child for your own agenda. That is pretty clear to me. You are using this child to virtue signal, and that's absolutely disgusting." So she spoke with Pride Source and said, they said, were asked her, "I'm curious if having a daughter who happens to be transgender oh my god, influences your decisions when it comes to taking on the LGBTQ content characters you do or, for that matter, don't." The actress responded, "Well, this is all pretty new for us, so it hasn't really kind of come into question. I don't really necessarily know if it will. My daughter's story is, again, with my daughter is really her story, and one day if she chooses, she'll tell her story. You know, one day this person will grow up and maybe it'll be like, You had me in dresses and behaving like I was a damn child. I don't get to make choices like that. You should have been the adult, woman. So she then added, I feel like as her mother, for me, it was important to let the world know that I would appreciate it if they would use the right pronouns for her. This child has no place to be deciding their gender. Um, so, what do you make of Theon's campaign to star in a lesbian version of Die Hard? Would you watch that? Would you watch a Die Hard reboot just because it's lesbian version now? And I'm not trying to throw any shame or anything at lesbians. If you're actually interested in a Die Hard that's lesbian, didn't tell me. I want to know actually how many people that are lesbians are actually interested in a lesbian reboot of Die Hard just because it's lesbian. Um, because I mean, I would think that the people interested in a Die Hard reboot is relatively small in the first place. Then you add in the fact that it's a lesbian version and how many people actually. So just let's move on because this regardless of if you agree there should be a lesbian version of that, what do you think of the situation with their child? Do you think a 3-year-old should be deciding their gender and the parent should be embracing that and going all for it? It's just it sounds insane to me, and I know somebody's gonna as some of you really out there progressive types are going to think that, oh, I'm the one who's in the wrong. But really, just so don't take any needless chances with this one, Hollywood. Make absolutely certain to work Melissa McCarthy into the story mix as well, and Rosie O'Donnell in the Alan Rickman role. Sweet. And Whoopi Goldberg as the buddy cop helping her on the outside. That's absolute. That one right there, absolutely yes. And Melissa McCarthy. Well, yeah. Those are some good choices. Let's do this. Let's just go all in on this. And that's just LOL. No, that said, I don't want them to make it just to watch yet another woke Hollywood project go down in flames. It literally never gets old. Oh, he said, I do want them to make it just to watch it go down in flames. Well, yeah, burning money like that's kind of sucks, you know. Why not make her trans as well, and then rename the film Woke Hard? I do that every morning, and no one has wanted to make a movie about it. I guess you woke hard. Guess you never heard. So, anyways, let's just so gender swap the male lead. Yep, that worked out well before, didn't it? Hello, anyone? Oh, right, it didn't. So that's just how people feel. I think this is stupid. I think it's dumb. I think it's really dumb. I think this woman is insane. I don't think anybody's interested in a Die Hard reboot, let alone a lesbian Die Hard reboot, just because. Oh, it's a lesbian version of Die Hard. And at what point does we've got to make sure we make a version for everybody. So don't forget, we need a trans version, a bisexual version. We need one for every ethnicity, sexual orientation. Uh, just come on, come on. Come on, man. And how did this woman get to adopt a child with parenting like that? That's just really out there to me. That's just really ridiculous. I would think that, like, even a transgender adult would say that. I would think that even a transgender adult would say that no, your child shouldn't be making those kind of important decisions at the age of 3, and you shouldn't be just like embracing that because they can literally say they're anything, and are you going to run with that? If they want to say, hey, I actually think I'm a serial killer, mom, so that's what I need to be. Are you going to help me with that? Because that's your job as a parent to celebrate serial killer me, just this kind of parenting doesn't work. At the age of 3, a child should not be deciding something as important as their gender. That is just baffling that this woman should not have this child in her custody. Um, Let me know your thoughts and opinions on both the movie, on this woman's parenting, and big good one here. Eventually we will. Appreciate the views, the comments, the likes. Ring that bell for notifications if you do subscribe. Comment down below. Really interested in seeing your comments. Stay awesome. Rock on.